All right, guys, we're going to go over the patch notes for Eden Season 3. This is super exciting. They just released the trailer where they have Warlock, Occultist, and Vampire confirmed. They also talked about the front lines and the new way they're going to incorporate RVR to be a little bit better than it was in Season 2. They're removing King of the Hill for a normal thing. I think it's really interesting how it's going to play out for small and 8-man. I'm hoping that like integration into the realm mission and, you know, having it support the Zerg is going to make it better, because then I guess you have a centralized piece of action and then everything that revolves around it. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Here's the here's the patch. So we get shield spec, one hand base damage now increases 0.5% per composite shield skill while wielding a shield in the offhand. This is a really nice boost for a sword and board spec. A sword and board spec really was not viable at all, other than like Warrior, which just kind of naturally has a sword and board spec for Armsman or Hero, because you just were lowering your damage by so much. So this is actually kind of a win for anybody who wants to go really high defense, like a lot of parry, a lot of shield, you know, weapon. You can go like 50, you know, weapon, high shield, high parry. It actually, maybe that is viable, because the main challenge with one-handed is that your damage is so low that every time you hit and a proc goes off, that proc, like let's say that's a heal and they get plus 25% to healing, they're healing for like 200 on that proc, right? And especially if that's a friar or something, you're just never going to do any damage to somebody with one-handed. So that's kind of a nice change. Well, I'll have to test it out. It's going to make warriors really strong. Warriors are really good. Probably heroes will be good. Maybe armsmen. Yeah. I mean, I think heroes are going to get the biggest boost from that, since they have a 4.4 axe they can use and highest damage table. So charge decrease 15 to 12 seconds. I think that's like a pretty reasonable nerf. Charge 15-second charge is like just enough to, you could kill somebody pretty easily in that if it's a caster. I think 12 gives it a little bit. We'll see how it plays out, but the 90-second charge cooldown is crazy, and that maybe evens it out a little bit. I kind of like what they did here with the Paralyzed 23 spec, shield, rear style, and mangle. Like, if you slam, it really removes, I mean, it's like a 10.5% miss rate, roughly. So you have like a 1 in 10 chance to miss if you slam. So having a bonus to hit for rear and side is really nice, and it makes those like really good, right? And especially for like if you're looking at a light tank, that's going to be the new move for a light tank like Merc or BM. Players can maintain 8 chance simultaneously up from 2. That's really big boost to what I think Scalds and Paladins. And I think maybe I don't think Bard has a chant. That's like a song. So yeah, I think it's just I think it's mainly Paladins. Okay, I have to correct that and check it out. Dots can crit between 10 and 100% against players, previously 1050. Yeah, dots have been kind of weak, so it's nice to have a boost there, just because a lot of the meta is around burst damage, because people can heal and cure dots and stuff, so that's kind of like a small thing, but kind of nice. Veil Recovery reduces duration of stat debuff by same percentage. That's really nice. Man, I got to look up what the heck stat Veil Recovery is. Veil Recovery is what? That's let's look this up. Veil Recovery. Okay, reduces stat duration of resurrection sickness stat. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's nice. That makes that pretty viable, because we get debuffed in a fight, and that's really annoying. So that's like, yeah, people are going to actually maybe put points to that. That's cool. Guild leader stuff. Sounds like they just moved it to like, it's a very aggressive system where there's one leader and they get demoted after 30 days. So there's always an active leader. So that's like probably mostly for their admin to not have to deal with the guild stuff. But yeah, you got to maintain your guild basically. Cab's got a small boost here. They typically have to go lower in body because 46 spirit's quite high if you want the purple debuff. So it just helped them out a little bit. I think that's good. These are good buffs. It's very small. A little bit of damage boost to a Cabalist. It's pretty good. I really like this with the buff classes. Get yellow, AoE, SC, and Dex Quick. Same value as buff potions. That's cool. That makes those really nice. For Zerg and groups and stuff, that's really cool. Those are like very viable now. Those used to be very bad. This is trash. Hate this. Leviathan DD increased from 100 to 125. That, I mean, dude, Reavers with charge is already kind of nasty as hell in my opinion, and heretics don't need a boost there either, although they don't usually go full flex. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. I think that's not good. This I think is silly. I think it doesn't even really make sense to run 42 shield as a merc or a BM unless you're, in my opinion, my very very alternative opinion. I think it makes way more sense to go high parry and then go high damage, and then you do the parry reactional stun, or with Blade Master you do the side stun. Merc and Blade Master will run 42 slam for group stuff because a 9-second slam can be really nice for group stuff. But it has that immunity, right? So a 45-second immunity is stun. It can really mess up a fight if that guy purges. Versus if you do 5, he either has to sit there and take damage, or purge, and then he's back into stun within 25 seconds, right? So I actually think that a 5-second stun is highly underrated, highly underrated, versus a 9-second stun in a lot of circumstances. Except for the one where the guy's purges down and you're doing a train on him. Anyways, yeah, I think that's silly. I don't really like it. If they were gonna do it to this, you got to do it to Thane and Valk too, man. I mean, Thane and Valk are they're getting a buff. They're getting a rag buff. Like, that's so silly. No way does Valkyrie need a freaking Ragnarok DD buff, dude. Are you kidding me? Silly. I'm very opinionated on this, but man, that's not, they gotta, no, don't like it. Occultist, by the way, Eden team is freaking phenomenal. I'm sure they had their reasons. I'm not pooping on their thought process. That's just my opinion. Maybe they have a good reason for it that I'm not aware of. Really excited about the Occultist. Super stoked. That trailer was dope. And I never played one on live, so I have no idea what it's going to look like. We'll see what this looks like on Eden, if it's any good or not, and if they tweak it and change it. Vamp, never really played a Vamp either. This makes sense. Claw Delve was really silly. I think it was hitting for like 350, 400 damage per cast every like 2.5 seconds or something silly back when I was playing live. Really hated Vamp. So I think this is good. I don't know exactly. I'll have to look at the Delve and everything. Warlock, Chamber, 8-second cooldown. I don't know what live looked like when I was playing. I just remember they were always pretty good. They got nerfed and they were still good. We'll see what it looks like. I'm excited. I think they definitely did some necessary nerfs, and we'll see what it looks like. I'm about to play it. We'll get in there. We're going to test out the Occultist first, see what's going on. And yeah, really excited for Season 3. We'll see how these changes affect things. And, you know, I think it's all for the best. All for the best. My only qualm is with the Thane and Valk rag buff. That's silly to me. Otherwise, I love all these changes and excited to play. And we'll see how it goes. We'll start playing these classes and see what they feel like.